Ladies and gentlemen, we're currently in a delay here in the INCAR Truck Series on the Dan Wilkins Show Broadcasting Network. I'm Dan Wilkins on the mic. We had an unavoidable crash of NR 2003 on lap 18. We're going to take the green flag according to Rules 13.6.4, I believe. Let me just make sure that is correct. Yes, Rule 13.4.7. Yes. So we're going to get that fixed right away, and when we'll go back green, it'll be on lap 15. We believe we will be able to get this race back underway from the Nashville Fairgrounds. This is Dan Wilkins. Well, they don't call it a slick track surface for nothing. Look at this. Everybody's wearing out their tires. Oh, we're having a burnout on pit lane. I hope you don't have asthma. Oh, my goodness. There's Joseph Landy Pavlon, Austin Delgado. Oh, my gosh. I need a hood camera on this. Look at that. You know, I love how these guys are such a, oh my gosh, you cannot see in turn one. Oh my gosh. Look at the 6 of Phil Parker. You can barely see. Oh, you just spun it out. You spun it out. You did the Quinn Half. There you go. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Oh my god. Connor Bloom, Rose Henson, Blaine Davis. Alright, so this is going to be the restart of the race, following the red flag, if you will. It'll be on lap 15, and we'll take another starting command.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Get a rhythm. Get ready to rock and roll today. It's a long race. There will be a lot of pit stops. So just go out there, do what you got to do. No mistakes. That's the big thing today. Just no mistakes.
So Jonathan Fitzwater is going to be, I presume, in the front because Dane Stinson in the 2 had to withdraw from the race at the end. Oh my god, this is the most depressing green flag I've ever seen. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's not go racing at 40 miles an hour. So everybody's getting sorted back up. And this is, again, because of the red flag. So I take that back. Jonathan Fitzwater is not on the pole. They're getting back in the caution formation. So what you see on the top of the board, just add 15 or so laps to it because that's what our current situation is. We're also going to be under caution for this lap as well, I presume. But yeah, the 2 is out, but the 15, that's a lucky break for the 15. I don't care if you're a fan of Dane Stinson or not. You got to be feeling at least something for Austin Delgado because he was always in the shadow of Dane Stinson for the first few laps of this race, and now he's going to be retaking the start of this, restart of this one on the pole. And the top 5 behind him is Austin Delgado, David Alvarez, Phil Parker, Rose Henson, and Ruby Estes. Coming off of turn number 4 at the Nashville Fairgrounds, it's the Music City 150, and this is the INCAR Truck Series on the Dan Wilkins Show YouTube channel. You won't be going green just yet. I don't have a connection to race control, so I do not know when we're going green exactly, but take that as you will. Take that as you will. So again, take whatever laps are at the top of the board and just add 15 or so to them. I'll give you updates when needed. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? I'm not going to put any blame on Jason Hubbard for this one, but we're back under green from Nashville. Look at the 44 of Ruby Estes trying to get a move down on the 80 of Rose Henson, who we saw a battle with for 6 earlier, but everybody's getting moved up one spot as the 6 of Phil Parker getting on the inside, near contact with the 78. Back at the line, Phil Parker in second, although that might be temporary. The 78 of David Alvarez with a good run on the outside. We're going to take a look at the hood of the 78. Remember, this race is open setup, so it's not like it's all one guinea pig of a monster truck. It is all the mindful creations of these truck owners that really know what they're doing. As we're going to go, oh, there's a spin in turn 4. The 48 of Jason Albert has gone around. The caution is out. Let's take a look. 4th caution of the night besides the red flag. Looks like he was running 8th and spun around up top. Oh, hit the inside fence. Got smashed up in there. Along with the 68 of Joseph Landy Pavlon. Joseph Landy Pavlon. We're going to bring him up to the booth in just a second, but we're under caution on lap 21 of 150 from the Music City 150. Actually, no, he's not in the... he's not in the actual call, so can't bring him in this time. We are going to try to bring up the 44 of Ruby Estes. Ruby Estes, this is Dan Wilkins in the in-car commentating booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, right now you're running 4th, and I know we've had a lot of cautions early on in this race, and with Alvarez, Parker, and Delgado in front of you, what's your plan on this race start to try to get around them, as there are some cars pitting on pit lane, including Landy Pavlon and Jason Albert. But what's your plan going on right now?
Well, on the restart, it's just get to the bottom and hope the truck doesn't slide out from under me. That's the plan.
Well, I mean, right now we've seen a lot of spins, including the one that caused us caution with the 48 of Jason Albert. So we're going to see how that rolls from now. I know with the double file restarts, it's going to be interesting to see which groove you take. But hey, you only got 3 trucks in front of you. I know we saw that battle with the the 80 of Rose Henson earlier on in this race, and we'll see how it works from here. It's still a long ways to go, though. But you're running position number 4 right now, inside the top 5 and in front of John Felber in the 13. Thank you, Ruby, and we'll be back on the race here. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
No problem. That was Ruby Estes in the number 44, as Austin Delgado leads the field on lap 24 of the 150 lap event. Coming off of the 4th corner, top 5 to 15 to 6, 78, 44, and 13. We're back under green. And look at the 44. That plan that Ruby talked with us about just a few minutes ago, taking that inside lane and hoping the truck doesn't bottom out. And that's exactly what we're seeing. The David Alvarez truck in the 78 up top and almost contact the 13 at the slow down so that there wasn't any issues there. There's the 80 of Rose Henson in 14th. As Phil Parker's going up high, he must have missed the corner a little bit. Here comes Alvarez. He was able to hold his position against Ruby Estes, and now he's looking for more against the 6 of Parker, and possibly more if the 15 of Austin Delgado has any issues. Right now, though, on lap 27, he's got almost a full second lead. In fact, he does have a full second lead of 1.12 over the second place truck of Phil Parker, but Alvarez is right behind. Alvarez is really getting loose. He's got a squiggly truck. Surprised it hasn't bottomed out and spun out on him yet. Here comes the 44 with another move again, and the 78 almost cleaned out the bumper like he was going to leave a nice little kiss on the back of the 6 of Phil Parker, and I'm not talking about the Hershey's chocolate. Still a good lead for Austin Delgado, though. Phil Parker in second. Oh, here we go, Ruby Estes. I see she's going down on the inside so many times. You just don't know when the 44 is going to actually make a move on David Alvarez here, but it's very tempting. As right now we might see it right here. Alvarez leaves the door open. Here comes the 44 for the 3rd spot, and she's going to take that. Now the 44 is in the 3rd spot. Alvarez trying to hold his line. 44 is going to clear to 78. And Ruby's going for more. I mean, we talked about we talked to Ruby about the game strategy and the game plan under yellow. And the plan was really shoot for the bottom and hope the car doesn't spin out. That lead, though, for Austin Delgado is shrinking a little. That last lap time was still a little bit better than Phil Parker, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to get redemption here. He had as little as 1.03 seconds of a lead, and at the highest it was about maybe 1.4. As again, still pretty early, but who knows? Maybe the 5th. We've seen several trucks have single spins, so who knows? Maybe he'll bedink it and kind of spin it out as we have a yellow. Speaking of spins, looks like maybe the 99 of Jonathan Fitzwater. Let's take a look. No, it wasn't him. It might have been up here. Take a look. No. It was the 13 of John Felber. I'm surprised I missed that. He was in 4th. Let's take a look. I mean, it looks pretty simple and cut and dry to me. He just banks it off the corner. And that's another caution. 5 cautions tonight, and we're 40 laps in. Also, Ruby Estes, who we talked to under the last yellow, now in 3rd because she held that position over the 78 as Phil Parker It's going to go into pit lane along with the 13 of John Felber, probably for repairs. There's some more trucks. Ike Durbin, Blaine Davis. Back under green from Nashville. Estes, who's now in second, got an amazing jump on the restart. Side by side for a further back position. It's the 68 of Joseph Lendy Pavlon. Whoa! Contact on the back. The 9 of Connor Bloom in the wall. As far as we know, no caution, but they're 3 wide back here. It's Fitzwater, Felber, and the 97 of Slesarski. As now there's going to be a spin on the back, or on the front stretch, excuse me. Sam Slesarski has gone around. Everybody, we're staying green is what the call is, assuming that there's no issue. I mean, he was in last place, got bumped from behind. And now Austin Delgado will have to go through some smoke and maybe some tire marks. It's Ruby Estes now in second, and now we are staying green. So I was confused, but the 97 gone around, but no caution. Probably since there's been so many cautions before during the early laps of this race, I don't blame them for not wanting to call one at this time. 78 of David Alvarez back in his second spot. Ruby Estes right behind the 78. Look at the 44 trying to keep the door open, and then the 68 in a good, excuse me, the 80 in a good position, but the 68 is also in a good position, Joseph Landy Pavlon. As now these two were fighting for a spot earlier, they get to do it again in round dos. It's the 4, oh! Trouble, turn 3! Ruby Estes hard in the outside wall. A big bump from the 80. And that will bring out a caution as the 80 was going in like a Caterpillar bulldozer. And I gotta say, if it was a bulldozer, it did its job. Oh my goodness. For the third position, caution is out. Take a look at this in slow motion from our helicopter camera. The 80 with an absolute giant bump on the 44 and hard in the outside wall. Take a look at that from our replays here. But my goodness, just what an incident. I mean, I know it's still early, but this is drama in the making. Well, we're going to talk to, assuming the 9 isn't pitting, Connor Bloom. He's in the 5th position. We're going to bring him up to the booth. Connor Bloom, this is Dan Wilkins from the INCAR broadcasting team up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Let me just mute my TeamSpeak.
Just let me know. right, well, right now you're running in the 5th position. You got Landy, Pavlon, Alvarez, Delgado ahead of you, and it actually looks like you've moved up to 4th. Just, you know, I'm reading off the top of the screen here. We were talking to Ruby Estes earlier in the broadcast about what their thoughts were on making a good restart from the 4th position. Well, right now you're in a similar spot. What's your plan right now for this restart going forward?
I'm just going to take it carefully because I know that I probably can't do as much with my truck as anyone else can. I'm honestly not very good, so I'm just going to be careful. If I have to let a few people by, I will.
Well, I mean, I know we saw a spin earlier in the race in turn 4, and it seems like the track is really not suited for that part of the racetrack. We've seen just so many spins out of that area, including the one that brought out this yellow.
Yeah, it's treacherous. We'll have to see.
Yeah, but best of luck to you in the 5th position, as it looks like we're going back green right now. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Oh, I need to move you back. Hold on. There we go. All right, sorry about that. We're back green. We didn't realize we got the 1 to go as Austin Delgado in front. Jonathan Fitzwater having some issues there in 13th. But yeah, the 48 is out. That is, I believe, Jason Albert, yes. So now the 44 of Ruby Estes, who is with heavy back damage in 10th. You can imagine there is probably some tension between the 80 and the 44 because 80 just dumped the 44 in turn 3 a few laps ago, and now 80's in 3rd place. So if Rose Henson goes on to win this race, I'm sure there might be a few words to say, but Joseph Landy Pavlon might be trying to take those words away. He was getting in on the inside, and we have yellow? I think. Yeah, another yellow. What was the situation here? Is it another... I didn't see a spin. I'm going to be completely dead honest with you. I did not see a spin. But... what happened here? I did not see a spin, but... I will take that for what it's worth. I don't know. I don't know what the caution is for. Might have to ask race director Jason Hubbard about that, but that is an interesting game plan. So right now on lap 51, I think, 36 plus 15, am I doing the math right? Your top 5 is Austin Delgado, David Alvarez, Rose Henson, Joseph Landy Pavlon, and Phil Parker. All along with, like I said, Rose Henson in 3rd. We might talk to Rose Henson if we get a chance, although I don't know if she is in the voice chat of open to interviews. That's how we get these drivers into the broadcast booth in the first place. Green flying back in the air, lap 52. Here comes Phil Parker on the inside of Rose Henson, trying to make a move. The question is, does it stick? Yes, it will. A clean pass there, although he nicks the wall off of turn 2 for 3rd. I see all these drivers banking the bottom of the apron. I don't like how that's going. It just, it makes me worried. Although Phil Parker's got a fast truck. Take a look at this. He's trying to get to the inside of the 78. Blaine Davis and Joseph Landy Pavlon. I mean, Delgado's led every lap that wasn't led by Dane Stinson before he had to drop out on lap 15 during the red flag. Parker's getting real close. Here he comes. Here he comes. He's coming real fast. Here comes the 6 of Phil Parker. He's going to make the pass for second as he is wilding through the field. He doesn't have the fastest lap today. He's third on the board with a 20.509 as his fastest, but my goodness, he's got it good for him. He's got it good. I wonder if he's going to even try to catch up to the 15 of Austin Delgado or wait until a caution, because right now it's almost guaranteed there will be another caution, and it's almost guaranteed that you'll get another opportunity to restart. But let's go through the field, as we're nowhere close to halfway done, but doesn't hurt to do so. Austin Delgado in first, Phil Parker in second, David Alvarez in third, Rose Henson in fourth, Ruby Estes in fifth, Noah Puente in sixth, Blaine Davis in seventh, Joseph Landy Pavlon in eighth, Connor Bloom in ninth, Ike Durbin in 10th, Jonathan Fitzwater in 11th, Sam Slisarski in 12th, and that's really all we've got. Every single truck is on the lead lap, but the two that are not are the two that have since retired, the 13 of John Felber and the 48 of Jason Albert. Now Rose Henson might be trying to get at David Alvarez for third. We look down the backstretch here. 78's leaving the door open. And pass. For third, Rose Henson gets the spot. Also, I want to see if the 6 is catching up any, because this might be an interesting battle. Turns out he is a little. He was 1.1 back, now he's 1.02, making up a little bit of ground. Every single lap, he's making a little bit of ground. Exact same. No, he did gain a little bit. It just took a little bit on our board for it to update. 0.96, so he's officially within 1 second. And he is ever so slightly running faster laps than Delgado, as caution is out. Ike Durbin with an incident on the front stretch, again involving Connor Bloom. Looks like Connor Bloom, again, we were talking with him earlier, just almost went straight into the fence, and then Ike Durbin was unfortunate enough to be behind him, and he gets hit again on the front stretch. Caution is out for the 6th time. Some yellow flag pit stops for these guys on lap 65, since I have to add 15 to everything. Blaine Davis had to back up into his stall. Who's going to be winning the race off pit lane? Oh, Phil Parker almost banked it in the wall. It's Delgado, Parker, Alvarez, Henson, Landy Pavlon. Oh, I'm sorry, Puente, and then Landy Pavlon. They have very similar trucks, the 39 and the 68. Very similar. Oh. Why are we... I don't know why they started gassing it. They still have to get everybody back in line. Although, think about it this way, I think 3 trucks stayed out. Yes, Lusarski, Fitzwater, and Estes both stayed out. So, or now, Ruby Estes is going to be your leader. I didn't even realize that. That's why they were speeding up to get caught up. I was looking there thinking everybody pitted, but no, some of the guys in the back, some of the guys and gals in the back ended up pitting, or not pitting. So it's Estes, Fitzwater, Sosarski, Delgado, and Parker. We take the green flag again on lap 67. Now, I'm sure this won't be Sosarski already dropping back. But Estes is going to get a chance to lead some laps. So a new leader, who knows? Oh boy, they're getting a bit bunched up. I mean, I know that it's all about strategy here, but my goodness, it's a little bit of a risky strategy. Whoa, contact! 97 of Sam Sosarski has to go up high. And Delgado's now in second as the 97 and 99 have dropped back, but the 44 is adamant. And the caution is out for a spin on the back involving Landy Babylon. 7 cautions tonight. See. Well, can't get much more clear as day than that. 39 of No Puente involved. 68. Again, the 97 of Sam Slosarski. So Ruby Estes is probably going to pit this time around along with the 99 and 97, although that's really a heartbreak since they had a great run going for themselves. And now we'll probably pit. We'll see. Does the 44 pit? No! Although pit road might not be open. I apologize. Pit road might not be open. That's one thing to consider, isn't it? Off of turn 4. No green flag yet, but the top 5 right now is Estes, Delgado, Parker, Alvarez, and Fitzwater. So everybody who didn't pit before is not pitting now. It just makes me wonder. It really does make me wonder. Oh, I didn't even realize there was another spin. On the front stretch, Noah Puente. We were just taking the green flag, and somebody got bunched up, and then... You wonder if that's retaliation for what happened earlier? With the 39 and 68. You wonder if that's retaliation. I really do. But wrecking up race cars, I don't think it's the way to go. But how about this for Ruby Estes? Leading a lot of laps, leading a pretty decent amount of laps. You do have to wonder about pit cycles and all, and when that'll happen. What on lap 71? We might have a development here. 39 of Noah Puente, possibly? I don't know. People are talking about something crashing or whatever. Might have a second rain delay. Bit of an extended caution. Just there's some confusion because we don't know what the situation is with possible game crash. Oh no, the 44 got held up, and the 6 car and the 6 truck really got screwed over there, almost like almost a brake check. And now it's really gonna get ugly. Oh boy, 44, who led a lot of laps, Ruby Estes, now no longer in that position. Might not even be in the top 5 if Connor Bloom passes her. So now it's Delgado back in the lead like it was before. However, since the miscue with Phil Parker, he's back in second, so that's at least a good thing. We are basically at our halfway point, at least for now. We're getting there. We're on lap 78, if I'm not mistaken. Delgado left a door open, and Phil Parker takes advantage. He is really close on the tail. Of the 15. Oh, we have a spin. I thought I saw some smoke, but yes, no. And my computer has decided in its intellect to unexpectedly open Microsoft Edge. Unlimited intellect, isn't it? Top 5, currently Austin Delgado, Phil Parker, David Alvarez, Ruby Estes, and Rose Henson. And then after that, we're going to just go through the field here. Joseph Landy Pavlon, Ike Durbin in 7th, Connor Bloom in 8th, Noah Puente in 9th. And then in 10th is the 99 Jonathan Fitzwater, Blaine Davis in 11th, Slam Cesarski in 12th, and Austin Delgado getting back to the front. Only 12 cars running right now. 13 and 14 are out, so it's a pretty spread out field. Also, we were talking about Phil Parker not having the fastest lap. Well, guess who does now? It's Phil Parker. 20.382 puts him on the top of the board. And who knows, he might have another opportunity on fresh tires. He's a quarter second back from Delgado, and with lap traffic, you never know. Could we see a situation like with Ross Chastain at Atlanta in the real world, where we we see maybe some controversy. There we go. Let's do it. Because you got these two trucks. Even if they move out of the way, it will be difficult for these guys to get through, probably. And the 6 has just got to be patient. So 97's dropping back, and the 99 is also going high. Oh, but that even with these lapped cars moving back, that was still good for a 6. That was still productive. Oh, we have a spin. Hold the phone. We got a spin. It is the 97 of Sam Suslarski. So he got locked in there. He was one of the lapped cars and ended up causing the yellow because he spun it out, hit the inside wall. Oh, we hit the 44 of Ruby Estes too. So we'll be back under yellow. Phil Parker. There's Noah Puente back there in 8th. See some yellow flag pit stops here on lap 90. As the trucks who were not on the lead lap make their way around. See who wins the race off pit road. I think Delgado's got it here. And it is indeed Delgado with Parker Alvarez side by side. Whoa! 39 of Noah Puente got a little Fuente up in there. Or that's not the word I'm thinking of. The word for fire in Espanol. I don't know. If you know what I think caliente, calor, fiesta. I don't remember the word. Hold on a second. Let's ask our in-race reporter. Hey Siri, what is the word for fire in Spanish? Alright, it won't play it out loud, but it does mean fuego. That's what I was thinking. Not fuente. Fuego. So, Noah Puente is en fuego in 7th place. Oh my goodness. Top 5. Delgado, Parker, Henson, Estes, and Landy Pavlon. And on lap 93, not under green yet, we'll be going on green on lap 94 then. Again, green flag back out. Lap 95. Making sure no spins back here in the 12 trucks that are along for the ride. 10 trucks remain on the lead lap. Although I've noticed the 6, he's running faster and faster laps, but the 15 just will not give in. I can imagine, though, Phil Parker in that number 6 Toyota Tundra is adamant on getting a win here. Anybody who's competing today would be looking for their first win of the 2021 B season because, again, Tyler Mallon won that race at Daytona, and now it'll be either probably Delgado, Parker, maybe Rose Henson will pull one out, Ruby Estes. It really could be anybody's race because who knows? A caution will bunch everybody back up. Everybody's basically got good equipment. It's all dependent on skill, not what engine you bring or what tires you bring to the racetrack. Parker's staying close, though. Officially lap 100 in the books. 51 laps to go, and we'll be going to lap 50 to go. This time by Phil Parker, trying not to lose that advantage. Right now, he just lost about 0.15 seconds. Now he's a full half second back. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but you just don't want to lose any ground at Delgado. You have to get good laps every opportunity. And right now, I don't think he's getting those good laps. That's just me, though. I mean, he lost time again. He's still a half second back. Just gotta get in there. Gotta get a really good run here. And it doesn't mean that Rose Henson or Ruby Estes, who have battled before and have had conflict before. Oh, boy. Here comes the 44. I can imagine for Rose Henson, who dumped the 44 into the wall earlier, might have a little bit of an issue with the 80. I'm just saying. I don't want to start anything. I am just saying. And it's not that like we're in the winding down laps or anything. I mean, we're still in the meat of the race. And now the 80 and the 44 are closer to the 6th than the 6 is to the 15. Look at how close the 44 is. I mean, wow. That's dangerous territory. I mean, wow, the 6s, though. The 6 is really losing ground here. As the caution is back out for another spin. Don't tell me Sam Slesarski has spun out like 3 times today. Yep, that's another one. Although it wasn't his fault, it was the 99. Took it too hot into the corner and went around. Oh, right into the wall. And then the 97 head on. Like, I know that's not really funny, but it's kind of funny. We are going to bring the 44 of Ruby Estes back into the booth, though, for a quick word from the 4th position. Ruby Estes, this is Dan Wilkins. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
So, we're talking again from the 4th position. You had a good battle going with Rose Henson before the caution came out. I know that the 80 kind of dumped you just after we had talked for the first time, and I see that you're staying out here. And it looks like you're probably going to gain some spots, maybe second, with this staying out strategy. But regardless, after that spin with the 80, Do you have any sentiment, or are you just here to move things on and work for yourself instead of putting a target on somebody else's back?
I mean, it definitely did make me a bit frustrated, but I mean, I kind of did it to myself. I chopped down right in front of him. Then I've been braking early all race, so I don't overheat the tires going into the corner. And I guess I just really cut him off too early. So I mean, yeah, it frustrated me, but I mean, I kind of did it to myself. So at this point of the race, I'm not looking to wreck anyone out just yet. We'll see where we are at the end here if I'm battling for position.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do when you're winding down, but we are actually just crossing maybe 45 laps to go, so we still have a long ways to go. And with you in second place, gonna line up behind the 15 of Austin Delgado. We'll talk again about the restart plans. Any real plans to overtake him right away, or are you just gonna stay back and stay on the down low?
Well, I've been behind the 15 before. If I can get a good enough restart, I'll definitely go to the low side and try to pass him.
And you've led some laps today, so we'll see if you can do it again. Thank you, Ruby.
Of course.
No problem. Back to the racing here on lap 105. We'll be going back, actually on 109 as we cross the line to 110. You can do math with me, right? But that was Ruby Estes in the 44, who lines up in second behind Austin Delgado. Austin leads with Ruby in second, David Alvarez in third. He has not led any laps today. Rose Henson in fourth, Joseph Landy Pavlon in fifth, then Puente, Durbin, Bloom, Davis, and Fitzwater in the top 10. And then I guess we could go through the rest of the field too. In 11th, Phil Parker, who pitted, and the 97 of Sam Slusarski. Although he must have had a slow stop. That's my prediction. Green flag back in the air. Here is what we were talking about with the 44, getting down in there and getting to the inside as Rose Henson. Whoa! Trouble! We have a crash on the back. It's Fitzwater hard into the inside wall. Puente's got fumes coming out of his back. Oh man, that was a hard hit for Jonathan Fitzwater. Caution is back out on the speedway for the 9th time. Man, hard hit. Hard hit. Let's take a look at the 99 and really see what was happening here on this restart from the 10th spot. Yeah, that's when he bonked it, and he was out as we speak, so he's going to be in 11th to end the day. As we do have some more folks pitting, including the 44, the 15. We are going to see some guys stay out, so David Alvarez will lead his first laps of the day. Although they are under yellow, but still. Also, we'll be approaching lap 100 on the big screen, although that was more like 115. Green flag back in the air. It's Alvarez, Henson, Landy Pavlon, Bloom, and Phil Parker. But now this is a completely shaken up event as Austin Delgado, who led almost every single lap except for Dane Stinson, and some laps led by Ruby Estes. Now he's in 7th. Although I'd imagine he's making his way through. Like, there's the 4 of Blaine Davis he just passed. He's going to try to go on the 9 of Connor Bloom again. Although Alvarez, this is a good spot for him, and the yellow is back out for another spin. Blaine Davis, who he just saw passed. What happened here? Was it Delgado who caused it or no? Oh, he got up into the wall, and Estes. Oh, that's a hard hit for Ruby. I don't know if Ruby's going to be able to continue, but I think that takes away her ability to win this race. That's really a shame. Really a shame. So back under caution on lap 117 of 150. Blaine Davis kind of trotting along on the inside, along with Noah Puente, who doesn't have a front hood anymore, but who says that he can't fix it and go along the way and at least maybe score a top 10 if Blaine Davis ends up getting past. And the leader, David Alvarez, is down pit lane. He's going to pit presumptively all by himself, and he's not by himself. He's got some company, including the 44 of Ruby Estes, who literally just crashed a few minutes ago on that last lap, and Sam Slesarski is also going to take that opportunity. So this would mean that the new leader would be Rose Henson, who we talked to earlier. Joseph Landy Pavlon moving up to second, the best position he's had all night. Your top 5 on lap 119, Henson, Landy Pavlon, Parker, Bloom, Delgado, and then after that, Ike Durbin, Blaine Davis, David Alvarez in 8th, Noah Puente, and Sam Zasarski. And I assume Ruby Estes would be in 11th. Yeah, she's staying out there. How about that? Although, I'm sorry, the 39 is a lap down, so he is in 11th. The 80, the 68, the 6, the 9, and the 15 in the top 5. So that's your updated one on the top left of the board. On lap 20. Lap 120. Green flag back in the air, and immediately Joseph Landy Pavlon gets to the inside of Rose Henson. It'll be a battle for the lead right off the bat, and Phil Parker waiting in the wings for something to happen. Oh, ho, ho, the 80's not done yet, going into 3. Trying to make that move stick. Well, we got a spin again. Big spin, it's Alvarez, Connor Bloom. Yellow's back out. We'll see what happened again as Alvarez gets it spun back around. See what's going on here. Maybe some contact. Yep, 15 of Austin Delgado. And then, oh man, absolutely pummeled by the 78. 44 just missed that. So now Joseph Landy Pavlon executed that restart perfectly, and now he is in the lead. But for Landy Pavlon, one who has not won an INCAR Truck Series race yet here in the 2021B season, you have to consider Rose Henson definitely has a good truck, has led some laps today, whether it's under yellow or under green. And Phil Parker has not led any laps, but he's been waiting in the wings basically all night. He's been in second for so long, behind Austin Delgado. Now Delgado's behind him. And this is really going to make things interesting on lap 124, as we'll probably go green on either 125 or 126. I would presume that we don't go green this time by. I think everybody's still catching up, because, yeah, you still have the 78, the 4, you still have guys on pit lane. Still have everything of that nature. Landy Pavlon, Henson, Parker, Alvarez, Delgado, and Durbin back under green on lap 126. Whoa! Look who's going down into the corner. Delgado really making it tough. Henson moved up the track. Phil Parker in the second as he gets spun down the back. I think he took it a little too aggressively in the corner. As now Landy Pavlon just got dumped by somebody. Okay, so the 80 and the 15 both, and the 86. I don't know what happened there. Probably shouldn't have happened. Let's take a look. 6 of Phil Parker. He was in second. You saw he just took it away, but he got loose off the corner. He was taking it a little too hard. So he will pit along with basically most of the leaders. Landy Pavlon led some laps, but he's now down in pit lane. Slosarski down in the pits. Along to 39 of Noah Puente. Laps to go. Green flag. Whoa, the 15 of Delgado. Got jammed up there. And Ruby Estes trying to work for it, and the 4 is up the track and into the wall. I was just watching his point of view on YouTube, another stream source, and wow, that looked like his car almost went straight. But now Henson in the lead, Delgado behind the 80, 44 of Ruby Estes, who was in 11th with heavy damage, now back up to 3rd following repairs in front of David Alvarez. And in front of Landy Pavlon, Connor Bloom making the pass on the 86, who gets in the wall. Phil Parker with a vengeance as well in 8th. As now Delgado and Henson side by side into turn 1. This is going to be interesting. Oh boy. 15 possibly back into the lead. Austin Delgado, he's going to take the lead away. Now this would be a perfect time for a caution, wouldn't it? I don't see anything out of the ordinary right now, but oh boy, the 80 of Rose Henson had a good run, and then the 15 just took it away. So Austin Delgado finally back to where he's most comfortable, position number 1. There's Durbin, Parker, and Bloom, as Parker almost made contact with the 9 of Bloom. Just taking a look here. As we are in the winding laps now, Rose Henson definitely needs to put the pedal to the metal if she wants to take the win away. Oh, look at Landy Pavlon getting in there on Alvarez. Luckily, he didn't spin him or anything. No, he almost did. That was very close. Landy Pavlon in 4th, Ruby Estes in 3rd. Rose Henson in 2nd, Austin Delgado in the lead. And then after that, it's pretty far of a drop-off. David Alvarez in 5th, Phil Parker in 6th, Connor Bloom in 7th, Blake Durbin in 8th, and Blaine Davis in 9th. Sam Slesarski in 10th, and Noah Puente in 11th. Again, the 13 of John Felber and the 48 are all out. 12 laps to go from Nashville at the fairgrounds in the INCAR Truck Series. This is Dan Wilkins on the broadcast. On a tape delay, but regardless. There's Henson and Estes again. We talked with Estes, and, you know, we said nobody's out for vengeance on each other, but they're still going to race each other hard if it's for position. That's what Ruby's doing right now. And I'm worried about where this could escalate, not on a matter of arguments, but on a matter of trying to race for position. The 44 is a pretty aggressive driver. Who says that we don't see this happen in the last 10 laps? Here comes the 44 again. But again, not... This is tough. And then the 68 of Landy Pavlon is basically on this same part as well. This is going to get interesting. I mean, the 15 is having no problem. He's having a walk in the park with a 2.85 second lead, as the 44 is having the opposite of a walk in the park. As now, oh, that was close. The 44 almost wiped out the back bumper and almost contact with the 68 of Landy Pavlon and the 44 of Ruby Estes. That got close. It is getting serious up here. As the 39 of Noah Puente in the wall now is going to go down to the bottom here. He's actually... He almost came to a full stop at 55 miles an hour. There's Austin Delgado, dominant. He's led most of the laps today. I know that there's been some laps from Ruby Estes, Rose Henson, Joseph Landy Pavlon, and David Alvarez, along with some others as well. But let's be honest here, this has been Austin Delgado's day. Dane Stinson probably could have been in a similar position if he didn't have to withdraw. There's Blaine Davis on the top side having no part of Austin Delgado. 4 laps to go. A 3-second lead, if not more. 3.14 seconds between Delgado and the second place, Rose Henson. In 3rd, Ruby Estes. In 4th, Joseph Landy Pavlon. In 5th, Phil Parker. In 6th, David Alvarez. 7th is Connor Bloom. 8th is Ike Durbin. 9th, Blaine Davis. 10th, back here somewhere, is Noah Puente and Sam Soslarski, and that's the rest of the field. 2 laps to go. 1.2 miles remain for Austin Delgado, looking for his first INCAR truck win in 2021B. I know it's just 2 races in, but this has been a good one for Austin Delgado. He goes down the backstretch with no competition whatsoever. I mean, Rose Henson is in another dimension. White flag, Austin Delgado, 1 lap to go at the fairgrounds. Down the back one final time. It's been a good day. It's Iron Maiden, and he's got the Iron Fist. Austin Delgado comes off of turn 4 and wins it at the Music City 150 at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Joseph Landy Pavlon moves all the way up to second because, we got a 2-car crash at the end. Ruby Estes and Phil Parker got together. The 80 also had some trouble, but take a look at this. Oh, that was hard in the inside wall. So your finishing results tonight, it's Delgado, Landy Pavlon with a 2nd place finish, as Austin Delgado getting some nice words from Landy Pavlon, and he burns it down in Nashville. Burnouts are great, aren't they? Oh, he's got a little help from David Alvarez. Gotta love it, doesn't you? Don't you? But a dominant win today from from the 15 of Austin Delgado. He's having a little fun with David Alvarez, but he does the Polish lap like Alan Kowicki always did as he spins it out on the backstretch. It's going to be time for some post-race interviews in a minute. We're going to go up and down from the current list and see what's going on right now. We're going to go up and down the list again of those in the interview. Everybody went to their haulers. All right, so it's time for post-game interviews. We've got everything going on here, and we're going to invite Ruby Estes up to the booth. Ruby Estes, this is Dan Wilkins again. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, it's always the fun post-race interviews. Of course, my first time doing it as a member of INCAR, but regardless, 3rd place finish for you today. I saw there was some drama on the last lap as our cameras were fixated on Austin Delgado. What happened there between you and the 6 of Phil Parker?
The 6, I'm not entirely sure what happened with the 6, to be honest with you. I think he just, I think whenever I was trying to get it going after the incident with the 80 there, he just either he came up into me as I was in his line, he just had much momentum, and we just came together, which is unfortunate. That was never my intention, and I feel pretty gutted for him. That was really his top 3 there. If I did indeed get top 3, I don't know if the scoring is wrong or not, but I do feel pretty bad about it.
Well, you are being scored as 3rd behind Landy Pavlon and in front of David Alvarez by about a 1/10 of a second. That might be changed by Jason as we go along, but obviously for Phil, he had a great run going. We'll talk to him after this, but I mean, I'll get his side of the story and everything, but you were running really well. You had some laps being led for you, and I know you had that hard hit later on in the race that would send you back to 11th, and I believe even somewhere not even on the lead lap, but you were able to rebound. You were able to get back into the position where you wanted. Were you thinking at all when you were back in 11th that you would be able to work your way back to near the front of the field?
It was a bit half and half, to be honest with you. Short tracks I've always been good at. I don't know what it is about these short tracks on this game that I'm just really good at. But I was kind of worried that impact with the pit wall was going to really give me some engine damage. But the truck held up really well at the end there. So I mean, Honestly, I was indeed worried whenever me and the four came together, but after taking it down pit road and figuring out that the car didn't really feel any different other than it looking like trash, that I probably had a pretty good chance of getting back up there and in a podium position for points.
Well, the next race is at Las Vegas. We've seen it all really so far with the super speedways and the short tracks. Now we're on the intermediates. What's your plan going forward for race 3 of the 2021 B season?
Same thing as today. Just go out there, drive my ass off, and maybe win this next one. It's two things in this game that I'm good at, which is intermediates and short tracks. So we'll see how we go. We'll see how the truck setup is, and we'll see how the race goes itself.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Ruby, a total of 3 times during the broadcast. We're going to bring in Phil Parker for his side of the story on that last lap crash. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish, and best of luck next week in Las Vegas.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Now we're going to bring in Phil Parker, who finished 5th today and was also involved in that last lap crash. Phil Parker, this is Dan Wilkins up in the INCAR broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha, loud and clear.
So you finished 5th today. I noticed there was some wreckage on the last lap between you and Ruby Estes. We just talked with Ruby about what happened, and to be honest, they don't really have the full side of the story about what really happened there, because they don't think it was their fault. But what do you think happened? What's your side of that story on that last lap incident?
No, I saw a good opportunity after she and the 80 got together. I guess I just misjudged it and got into her. I mean, it wasn't intentional. We're all trying to go for a good finish. I mean, of course, I'll take a top 5 any day of the week. I didn't mean to get into her, but I mean, racing's racing. You know, it happens.
Racing, and I mean, on the last lap, everything kind of is a go, but it just was kind of unexpected with Austin Delgado. On the official standings, he won this race by 5.444 seconds. And even on the last lap, he had a 3.5-second lead, so you'd think everybody would be in line, but everybody was kind of scrambling for position while Delgado was able to breathe easy. I don't know if we'll be able to get to talk to the race winner, Austin Delgado, but for that 5th place finish today, you ran in 2nd for most of the day, and you do have the fastest lap on our board, or actually did for a while, but you do have the 3rd fastest lap with a 20.339. The official fastest lap goes to Delgado with a 20.237. Do you think your truck ran pretty fast today? Because at some point you were the fastest out there, you just didn't lead a lot of laps.
We had a good truck out there. Obviously, we didn't come as prepared as we planned to, but we made some last-minute adjustments and ran well. Austin just had a better truck, and that's why he was able to beat us. You know, he did a great job. Hats off to him. It was great battling with him too. I felt like I could have been up there had I not spun with like 20 to go, but I mean, I think it proves that we've got something, and if we keep going well, I think we might be in the championship by the end of this thing.
I mean, Delgado, when he was in the lead, he was absolutely incredible to watch, but when he wasn't in the lead, it was a bit of a different story. Next week, we have Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the running of the Nevada 150. What are your plans going forward for the next race at Las Vegas?
Just try to race hard, race clean, be up front, and hopefully be there at the end. Same as tonight. We were able to rally back from Spain to P5. I mean, should something like that happen, I mean, I'm confident we're going to have a good truck to get back up there. We're just going to have to be careful. Of course, everyone's going to race hard, but, you know, that's to be expected here. You know, this is the best.
I mean, we've had a super speedway, a short track, and now an intermediate's going to be next, and then the week after that, we're going to have another short track. 7/8 of a mile in Iowa, Newton, Iowa. But my question is, for this next race at Las Vegas, do you think that you are better at a certain track than others? Because, I mean, with Daytona and Nashville out the window, how do you feel that you are on intermediates going forward?
I mean, I think I'd like to say I'm good on intermediates. I mean, I've raced a lot of intermediates, so I think we might have a little bit of an edge. Of course, we'll be planning more into the coming week, but I think we might have something for these guys.
Well, thanks so much, Phil, for joining us. Congrats on your top 5, and we'll send you back to the Open to Interviews voice chat.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, no problem. So next on our broadcast is going to be Joseph Landy Pavlon, who finished 2nd today. We're going to be having him join us in the broadcast booth. Joseph Landy Pavlon, this is Dan Wilkins. You got a copy?
Yes, Sam. How's it going?
Well, you got second place today. You led a few laps under green and under yellow, and obviously Austin Delgado was just dominant out there today. How did you feel overall with your truck? Because I know we had some incidents earlier on in the race, but overall, how did it feel?
I don't know how I did it. I managed to take a struggling early race portion, pick up from lost ground, stay in the fight all night long. Just never quit. That's how you win these races, and it really felt like a win to me tonight because I seen all ends of the race today, all good, bad, just everything in between. I'm so proud of everybody that has helped. You know, be a part of Solomon JLP Racing. Of course, this team doesn't work as one man show. It's everybody that helps put these trucks together. And I want to thank my guys that put this World Racing Media Dodge Ram 1500 to a great finish. And yeah, so everyone at Solomon JLP Racing, Rock Car Racing did a brilliant job to help me out there. And I'm just super thrilled. There's only one spot better than second, right?
Well, unfortunately, with 5.4 seconds ahead of you, and then considering that you did have, at this point in the race, the sixth fastest lap, Rose Henson was just ahead of you. Austin Delgado really did have the fastest truck out there. He was just the one that ended up having the best finishing position when he was dominant. He was just completely way far out there, but there were some times where it was looking like Austin Delgado wasn't going to win this race. And then in the late laps and with the late cautions, there were, I believe, 11 total cautions during this race, 150 laps. It's definitely interesting to see how Delgado manages this, especially in a 16 truck field, and which was reduced to 14 after the 15 lap red flag. For Delgado, though, it was a great win for him, but for you, a great second place finish. What would you say is the plan going forward for Las Vegas Motor Speedway? Do you consider that your truck or your team is particularly good on intermediates like this?
Well, intermediates are actually my positive outlook. So I've always, wait for a track like Las Vegas to take advantage of such abilities, and that's where I'm really looking forward to. I didn't know how well I was going to do in Nashville. Honestly, looking forward to schedule Daytona was an early end to me. Nashville was just brilliant, and who knows what the next few races have to hold. And I honestly did not think I was going to get that second. I thought, the way the ladies in front of me were racing, I knew if they tangled just once in the closing laps, there would have been a chance at a podium. But second place, that felt like just golden, and I'm so happy. Sometimes, these races feel better than wins that you've had in the past, and this is certainly one of them.
I mean, that was definitely looking like that Ruby Estes or Rose Henson could have taken second, and, it would have been basically uniform throughout the rest of the field. And then that crash happened. We talked to both Estes and Phil Parker to get their side of the stories, and it was essentially just a racing incident, no hard feelings. It just happened to happen on the last lap while everybody's racing for position. But Phil Parker still got his top 10, Ruby Estes got third, and you still got your second place finish. Thanks so much for being on the broadcast tonight, Joseph, and best of luck to you going forward at Las Vegas and beyond.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to dump you into general voice chat since there's nobody else in the open interviews, but thanks again, Joseph.
Thank you.
All right, well, that concludes post